Cell signaling Claymation project. G protein link receptor. First, a signal protein binds to a receptor. This causes the inactive G protein to move toward the receptor. Then the GDP gains a phosphate, so the GDP turns into GTP and the G protein becomes activated. Now the G protein moves toward the enzyme with the GTP. As the G protein detaches, the GTP turns back into GDP and the protein becomes inactive once again. This process continues as more proteins emerge and the phosphate attaches to the protein to activate it and allow it to move toward the enzyme. The process repeats until the phosphate reaches the endoplasmic reticulum. Once the phosphate reaches the ER, it causes the cellular response and the ER releases calcium ions. Tyrosine kinase receptor system. First, the two signal proteins, also known as ligands, attach to the two receptor tyrosine kinase proteins. Then these proteins or monomers will come together to form an unphosphorylated dimer. Then the ATP will move toward the dimer to attach the phosphates onto the tyrosines, and this process will repeat until all 6 tyrosines have a phosphate. Once all 6 have a phosphate, the ATP will turn into ADP. Next, the inactive relay proteins will take the phosphate to the enzyme, and the enzyme will activate the relay proteins so the phosphates can detach and move toward the ER. Once the ER gains the phosphates, it can finally release the calcium ions it needs to. Type 2 diabetes without treatment. First, the insulin attaches to the insulin receptor. Then the insulin receptor connects to one another, but the cell does not respond when the receptor connects. Type 2 diabetes with treatment. Once again, insulin attaches to the insulin receptor and the receptor connects. This time, the cell does respond and ATP moves toward the insulin receptor to put a phosphate on it. Once ATP puts 6 phosphates on the receptor, it turns into ADP. The ADP leaves and relay proteins take the phosphates all the way to the inactive enzymes. Then, these enzymes cause a glucose channel to open up, and the glucose channel allows sugars to enter through the channel and into the cell. Symptoms of type 2 diabetes include increased thirst and frequent urination, hunger, weight loss, fatigue, blurred vision, and areas of darkened skin. Possible treatments for type 2 diabetes include metformin, meglitinides, inhibitors, receptor antagonists, and insulin therapy. Of course, healthy eating, regular exercise, and blood sugar monitoring are also very helpful. Thank you for watching.